Phantasm and Paranormal. Hope everybody's doing good on their side. This is a very special episode which is dedicated to all of Ben's family, friends, and his memory, and his everlasting life on the other side. But this is going to be a very brief talk about who he was. I encourage you to watch this whole video, as he did mean a lot to a lot of people, and especially to us as well, and maybe in a different way than most would expect. But I encourage you to watch this whole thing. We're filming this before his anniversary, which is tomorrow, which will be the 11th of June, and it's the 10th of June 2019 today. And we're just going to talk about who he was as a person, who he is to us, and what he was like now. So with me, it's a little bit different, whereas I didn't actually know Ben in the physical world. I knew of him, but I never actually met him or knew him. But over time, I met Deanna, and it was around that time where we started talking about interests in the paranormal, with ghosts and like aliens and other things in the paranormal and so on. And she told me about this experience, about how she believed she saw her friend Ben on her landing. And she was telling me all about that and who Ben was, showed me some pictures of him, and I thought that was really interesting. And ever since we've been doing the whole spirit communication thing in ITC, we have had responses from Ben no matter what device we use, whether it's PSP7, an app, no matter what, Ouija board, you name it. He always makes himself known, always comes through and always validates key facts and details about who Ben was. Now, as I said, this video is just gonna just kind of give you an overview of who he really was. Some of you who followed us for a while will know who Ben roughly is, but just in case you don't, then this is the episode to come and watch. But ever since we've been doing this spirit communication thing, as I said, he's always made himself known with key facts as well. When we first started using things like the PSP7, his name would come through often, and usually no matter what or when, wherever we go, when we switch on an app or switch on a radio or switch on the box, he always comes through and always wants to talk, always. And always in his own voice, and he's got his own distinct voice even in the spirit world. But he was a very intelligent guy, from what I know, from speaking to his family as well. We went to his memorial yesterday. It was like a little remembrance, and that was really nice to meet his family and see what a really good family and deep spiritual people they were. So that was really nice and really heartfelt to know he had such a good family around him and friends as well. I mean, that's really all you can ask for. Definitely with like the spiritual side, he has definitely been helping me, especially. Maybe it's I feel like I have a personal relationship with him and a closeness to him, which is maybe a little bit hard for some people to understand, but this is the truth. But he's presented himself to me through my own eyes, in my dreams, and through whenever I do a session at home on my own or with Deanna. But he always tends to hang around, and we've asked him in previous sessions if he lives here with us, and he has said in multiple sessions that he does live here with us, and he kind of comes and goes between his family and us, which his family have like validated for us as well. And like I said, I'm kind of going off. But we went to his memorial yesterday, got to see where he was buried, and was talking to his mum and his other family members, his godmother, and it was interesting like for them to share their experiences with us. When I was saying like some of the same things, that like Ben always seems to make noises. We did a session a little while ago and we was asking about if he makes noises on the landing whenever, usually around the same time, around 8 o'clock, in between 8 and 10, and at night, and he always seems to make noises to let us know he's there. And I would always do a joke here: if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And we would usually hear a bang on the wall twice, so that's kind of like a little thing there. And after he's always made himself known in our sessions and always had positive things to say, because in life he was a really intelligent person. He did a lot of things like bushcraft, even if he wasn't really that interested in technology. He knew a lot, and in a way I feel like on the other side he helps me with my sessions and helps me with when I'm developing new boxes and stuff like that. He always lets me know if things are working, if they're not working, and he tells me if they're not working, and always in his own distinct voice. So after so much time doing these sessions and talking to his family, I felt like in a way he was like a friend of me too, but in a different way. And as I said, that might be hard for some people to understand, but it's the truth. I feel like good connection with him, and we only switched on the box last night. In fact, no, we didn't film it because it was a personal thing we wanted to do, but it was very much like a Joker. I was told he was very much like a Joker and a very funny person, very charismatic, and like had just an insane energy about him that people just loved and were attracted to. And definitely a person you'd want to hang around with. And unfortunately his life was cut short in the physical world. He was 30, 31, I can't remember exactly which, so I'm sorry about that. But there was a thing that was wrote on the stone circle where he was buried, which is, in my end is my beginning. And I quite like that, as I firmly believe, as when you die, it's only your physical self that dies, but your soul carries on, your consciousness lives on, your thoughts, your feelings, they all carry on. And he's proved that to us, no matter what we've used, whether it's Ouija board, whether it's PSP7, a portal, whatever. And he's been with us for a while now, and that's been really helpful for me, and really quite a awesome experience to know that I have a relationship with Ben and his family in maybe a different way, but that's just what it is. And I'm very blessed and I'm very proud to do what I do. And after me and his family, it kind of makes me appreciate what we do at Phantasma Paranormal, and really gives me a passion and a drive to want to carry on for that one-on-one communication with spirit. And eventually in the future, with all of us that are into ITC and the paranormal, we'll get to that stage of where spirit communication will be like talking on the phone to a friend. You know, so that's the goal. That's what we're trying to get to. With loads of research, with loads of help, we can get there. So definitely for Ben, if he is here with me, if he can hear this, then I just want to tell him that I love him, and I appreciate all the work he's done with me in the paranormal and how he's helped me out and why he helps me carry on to do what I do. And I want to say thank you for his family as well. His family are really nice people, and I hope they're well. And this video goes out to you, so hope you like it, and I hope you get some answers for some questions that you might want to ask. I know you can't ask them right now, but that's why we're going to ask them, and hopefully the session will bring them about, and hope he has something to say. So much love to you guys, and much love to Ben.
Hi everyone, it's Deanna from Phantasma Paranormal, and in this video I kind of wanted to talk about and obviously communicate with my closest friend Ben Langler, who sadly passed away last year on the 11th of June 2018. So yesterday was a very an emotional day, but it was also a very special day for me and many other people, including his family and friends. Yesterday was his Thanksgiving service to celebrate his life on Earth, and yeah, it was really good because we we talked about, you know, how he inspired us in so many ways as a friend, and how he approached life in general. You know, it was kind of he had so much knowledge about the paranormal and different spiritual faiths. He was a very adventurous human being. He was actually in the Navy. He was in the Navy for a while. He also did a lot of wilderness training, and he helped young children to survive in the wild. He taught them different techniques of how how to like survive in the wild. And yeah, so he was a young man, and he was full of knowledge, and even to this day, even though he's gone, I feel like his presence, his spirit is still with me. And I remember this time last year was kind of the time when I remember when he came to see me after he passed away. So as it goes for the story, my first experience with Ben in spirit was when I woke up one evening and I could hear footsteps creaking on my landing, and I walked out on the landing and I could see the kind of this shadow, this figurette of this short, young gentleman, which I thought, okay, it's probably a spirit from a previous house that I lived in, because the previous house that I lived in was actually a really old cottage, and there was like a few families that lived there before who passed away. And I just assumed, it was a spirit that followed me. And it was on that evening, and then that's when the experience happened to me. The next morning I found out that Ben passed away, and it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, really, because obviously I was really shocked at the time and I was distraught, but I realised it was him who came to see me and to let me know that he did pass over, and the fact that he wasn't actually gone. And I remember that day, as clear as ever. And even to this day, he never fails to make himself known, especially in our sessions that we do, me and Jack. He comes through quite often, actually, and we've actually spoken to a few of his family members, and they've actually had very paranormal experiences that they've happened to them, and they feel that Ben's presence is definitely there. Even in his life, like, he was a bit of a prankster, he was a bit of a joker, so obviously he manifested himself in that way in the spirit world, and he would do all kinds of things, like he would knock on the doors, he would leave loads of signs and different clues that he was around and he was communicating with us. Also, recently I found out his dog, his pet dog, Thistle, passed away. And it was really strange because in a couple of our sessions we've actually had a dog, the sound of a dog that's come through. And we've wondered, why is there a dog that's come through? So obviously from yesterday I found out that he did have a pet dog, and his dog did pass away, so I'm assuming that the spirit of his dog will be with Ben. And yeah, so I feel like, his spirit is here, it's not unnoticed at all. And I'll always remember him, on earth as he was a really close friend of mine, and we used to talk about the paranormal, we'd talk about, different spiritual faiths, the paranormal. He was very much into native Indian religion, belief, mythology, and we used to talk about it for hours, we used to communicate for hours about it. And he was a very special friend of mine, and I'm just so glad that he is still with me, and he's still guiding me, he is still, he's still my friend. And one day when I cross over to the spirit world, I know that he'll be waiting for me. And yeah, so it's a very emotional thing, but at the same time it's very uplifting and it's very enlightening to know that he that he's still here. And so tonight in the session, we're going to be communicating with Ben. We're going to be using different apps, equipment. We'll be using the PSB7 to communicate with Ben. We're going to try some other experiments if we can, and we're going to see if he can come through, especially on this day, as it marks the day of his 1 year anniversary. So I'm really looking forward to communicating with him and just to feel his presence again. So thank you.
He's the first one we're going to be using. We're going to use a few apps and we're going to do a PSB7 session after to see if we can get any validations from Ben if he comes through. But the first one we're going to be using is Necrophonic, and it's one of the main ones that we use quite a lot. And just to give you a brief overview, so this one produces phonics, like E, A, O, and it produces like half of words and just phonetic sounds. And there's no words in this app itself. But I believe the theory is that the spirit can manipulate the audio in order to form the message and the words that they want to get out, which we've had so much success with before. So what I'm going to do is turn this on in just a sec and see if we can get any communication coming through from Ben. Hello?
Hello, if you can hear us, we wish to communicate with the spirit of Ben. Ben Langler, can you come forward? This video is dedicated to you. So if you have any messages for us, can you communicate with us? Let us know that you're here. I think he said yeah. Can you repeat your name to us so we know that it's you?
Ben.
Ben.
Well, Ben, what month were you born in? When was you born? What was your dog's name? Thistle.
You just said that. Are you at peace with your grandmother and your dog and your family on the other side?
Yes. How is she, by the way?
How is Frida?
Well, good.
It's been like a whole year and it feels like it was only yesterday that we were out with Charlotte, Hannah and Becky and we're having rounds of tequila together. Do you remember that? And I never forget the conversations we used to have on the bus together.
Yes. Do you prefer this? Do you prefer this one we're using?
We're using the Spiritus app right now.
Ben?
Just said Ben. Hi Ben, I think we can hear you a lot more clearer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you repeat your name
Light.
to us so we know that it's you we are communicating with? D, he said my name.
Ben.
Ben. Oh my God.
Ben, what month were you born in? Just to confirm. Feb? Yeah, you were born in February.
Are you in a lot happier place?
Yeah. Is your dog with you? Did you hear the dog barking?
Okay.
I heard the
go
dog
back.
barking.
Have you made new friends in the spirit world?
Massive. Made.
You've always had a vibrant energy.
Do I?
You always will.
Ben, I really want to know, can you still sail your boat in the spirit world? Yeah. Ben, did I see you yesterday?
Was you with us when we lit the sage? We burnt the sage for you.
Is there any message you want to give to your family? Hello? Rest?
We love you, Ben.
Man, we all looked up to the sky yesterday and we saw a like an angel-shaped cloud. Was that you?
Yes.
We know.
Well, you were an angel on earth, as you are in heaven now.
Love.
Love. You had so much love for everybody. You were so kind and generous to everybody. You always made everybody happy. Even your smile could light up a whole room.
Ben, are you happy where you are? I know you've probably been waiting for this session for a while, so now you have a chance to say anything you want. Do you want to say anything to your family or your friends? Do you have a message for your mum? I'll answer her. Bless her. Connect.
I know you'd be with your mother all the time. Especially tomorrow, you'll be there with her.
We'll be thinking of you tomorrow. How are you? We're okay.
We're fine. We're really good, thank you. How are you?
Alright? Okay, it's now night number 2. There's D in the dark. Okay, so we got a bunch of candles, got the K2 meters here, and some new crystals on this new box. And we're going to try for night number 2 to communicate with Ben through the PSP7 after our meditation.
Do you have any messages for us?
You say he's right here. Is he? Is Ben around us? Yeah? Well, where is he? Where is he exactly?
I'm glad that you're well and you're in a better place.
Someone's taking the street.
Are you at peace, Ben? Okay, so that's the end of that. But the communication that we got was pretty good from Ben, and I hope Ben's family can take some of the meaning behind the words and the responses that we got, and hopefully it means something to you. But all let's say is just say thank you for letting us do this session for you.
Yes, thank you.